So Barbara was started off as a student, and then quickly it was determined that we needed her more than as just a student. And the assets that she's brought to our organization have just been invaluable.
She really captivates people to work toward a common goal to achieve whatever projects we have before us. And she's never one to really put herself out there and, say I want all the glory for this. She just wants to give back to the Richardson community and to those less fortunate. I mean, you can't not follow her. Her excitement is contagious.
I'm an English language learner myself, and this is what the Richardson Literacy Center is all about. We teach English as a second language and help people become members of the Richardson community. I became a member of Altrusa, I think, about a year and a half ago, and I was asked to join this amazing group of women, and I said, oh wow, very flattering, but also it gave me the opportunity to reach out to the broader community and to actually get involved in more service projects. I found out about a very special kind of volunteerism, and I think I've embraced it just by watching how much time people give back. Many members of the community have been very, very welcoming. We've made so many friends and found ways to get involved. So I don't feel like a visitor anymore. I feel like a resident and like an active part of this wonderful community.
Howard and Jerry and I met in late 2000, and we ran across Howard at First United Methodist Church because he was kind of the pillar of that program over there. I don't think there's a day that goes by that Howard isn't doing something for somebody. It just isn't in his nature not to go out and help somebody. And I think that's what Real Heroes are all about. And he'll probably like to kill me because I nominated him, because he's the kind of guy that likes to stay in the background. And what I call in the Bible is the suffering servant, where they take the last place. That's Howard Kennedy.
I think I'm primarily a musician, but also handyman is something I do because I've always liked to take things apart and try to put them back together, fix them. Well, there were a couple of men at First Methodist that had been helping people for several years with little chores around the house, and I joined the program 4 or 5 years later, which is somewhere around 1975. I don't remember for sure. Very informal. We just did it. Have an ongoing invitation to anyone to join us that wants to do it, and we've got a couple of people volunteer since we started. But essentially, it was this first group of men that came and said, "We're lazy. We're tired of being lazy. We want to do something."
When I was thinking about who served the community of Richardson and Wild Ride Wild Run specifically, the two people that naturally come to mind are Kathy and Linda. They're an extremely strong team. They've both been personally affected by cancer, and their passion to raise funds for the Cancer Center in hopes of finding a cure is palpable, and it attracts people to volunteer not only for the committee but for early registration day, for anything leading up to making the event successful.
They're so enthusiastic about what they do, and that enthusiasm is there with the volunteers. The volunteers bring it, and they get them excited, and the volunteers, like I said, is really what makes this such a great event, and we couldn't do it without it.
But we've known each other since our boys were 2, and our boys are now over 40. We have about over 200 volunteers, but around 300 volunteers. This one is so comforting. It's smaller. It's not as medicinal. Does that make sense? It's friendlier. It's more comforting.
I believe that it's just a wonderful cause. It couldn't go on without the group of volunteers that do it. Everybody that is on the ride, except for the 3 or 4 employees for the foundation, it's all volunteers.
There is not probably a family in Richardson or in the United States or the world that has not been affected by
cancer. So I think if they know that there's something they can do, they want to do it.
Network's mission is to care, coach, and empower our neighbors in need as they seek an improved quality of life. We do that by providing basic needs services to all of the zip codes served by the Richardson Independent School District. Linda's been with us for 23 years. She started as a volunteer in the food room, and then she served as an interviewer and a coordinator, and she's headed up the Santa program. She now serves as the president of our board. The second time she's the president of the board. And as we look to do the expansion, she was the biggest cheerleader and really made sure that we could make those changes we need to expand how we could to really take care of the community.
Now she's president, but she's done everything around here, and that's really what's amazing to me, that she can tell me about things that I just have never experienced and don't have the opportunity to do. She's just a good friend of the organization, and she's been that to me, and I'm just really excited for her about getting to follow in what she's done here.
Network is really my passion, and I have seen the need and have seen Network grow from a mom and pop operation to a full-fledged charity. And it has been a really unique experience for me. I think that most people that I've encouraged to come and work at Network, once they get here and see what's going on and what we're doing, they're sold. I don't have to talk them into it, or I don't have to kind of sell them on the idea. So I think all they have to do is just come and see what we're doing.
With Sabi, he in 10th grade went to JA Finance Park. That experience really resonated with him, and then he had a classroom volunteer, Ruben Pratt, in his classroom coming up from there. And so from seeing that professional and seeing those role models that Junior Achievement provides to students, and then coming to the High School Heroes program and becoming a volunteer for our organization and serving as that role model to students that are in the feeder school for his school, it was just easy to see that transformation from a student. He's just been an advocate for us and been really helpful to the organization, and then as a volunteer, it was just very easy to say Sabi's the one to nominate.
And as a high school hero, I believe that it's really important to give back to the community, because people is what make the place. And if you're part of that community, then you all work together and inspire other people. The greatest part about this was when you hear the responses of the kids and how they're actually learning. We're like, so what's assembly line? They'll be like, when every person has their own job, and then they know how it works and all that. I want to see more educational organizations grow, like Junior Achievement. Like me, I'm here to enhance and make a better education system globally, basically. And I'd do whatever it takes if I had the resources and people to motivate me and stuff. I definitely try to create more organizations to help younger ones, because that's where it starts.